What is going on, guys? This is Logan with West Desert Wheeler. Today's video, we are checking out the new Axial SCX10-III Basecamp Builders Kit. Wasn't sure where they put the 10-3 in there, but this is the updated version to the SCX10-II Raw Builders Kit. And this one is a much higher quality. Axial's been making leaps and bounds forward. I really like their new designs, especially with like the newer upgraded metal bodied shocks, the nice stainless links that have left-hand thread on one end, so you can kind of adjust them in and out like a turnbuckle. That's really nice. This one comes with straight axles. It does not come with wheels and tires or a body or bumpers. So we're gonna have to do a little bit of our own taste at the end of this to complete the truck and get it on the trail. However, we're gonna take a look inside the box right now and see what comes with this Raw Builders Kit. I have actually not really taken a full look at it. I just kind of cracked it open and lifted up the magazine here. Here's your instruction manual on how we're gonna put it all together. Got lots of awesome Axial stickers. Looks like 25% off of a Proline body, and that does have an expiration date. So we're gonna try and get a new Proline body for this bad boy. So yeah, you can see here we got our sliders, got our skid plate, your cross members, and a receiver box. This is most of the chassis plastics here. This is definitely our transmission bag, which I am curious about. Got our motor plate, a couple of gears, and then it does have the new LCXU dig unit in here as well. So that's good to have on here. Over here, we've got our axle housings. These are the AR45 straight axles. I've got quite a bit of experience with these, and I'm a big fan. I really like these. Looks like, yeah, you get removable C-hubs on these AR45 straights here. So you would be able to upgrade those to, you know, aluminum or brass for a little more strength down the road if you choose to do so. It also comes with the black diff covers. That was an option part that not a lot of people noticed. I have those on one set of my AR45 straights. But for this truck, it comes with black diff covers. It's gonna be a nice clean look for you guys. We got shocks, the same shocks that come on the Basecamp. These are actually really smooth feeling. I really like these on the Basecamps themselves. And I've had very minimal leaking with those in my experience. Then we got our full link kit. Like I said, stainless steel, nice and durable, strong, good thickness, good amount of heft and weight, metal pivot balls, and strong rod ends. I like this whole setup right here. This chassis is, I guess it's 4-piece, but technically it's 2-piece chassis to where you can adjust the length of the overall chassis, and you can slightly move it in and out to tweak, you know, maybe a custom build that you're going for. But this is a metal stamped C-channel steel frame chassis. So high quality strength, you know, all there. And then it's got lots of little tweaks and curves in there for added rigidity. This is a solid chassis. The 10-3 is a great base to go off of. Drive shafts, you know, typical drive shafts here, wild bores. Incredibly good luck in all the crawling I've done with these things. I think I cracked one of the plastic tubes once in like 5 years of just being mean to these things. So big fan of the wild bores. Then we got our body mounts, miscellaneous parts bag, and you know, a couple little battery straps and goodness there. That's everything that comes in the Basecamp box. I'm gonna build this truck, and then we're gonna talk about some more of the details. All right, guys, here we are a few hours later. The same day, we've got our SCX10-III Basecamp kit all completely assembled. There's a few little details like the drag link, but I need to have my servo installed to have that drag link installed. So things like that. Overall, here is the kit itself. Now, there's some things I wanted to remark about this specific kit as far as the quality that it is. It has sealed bearings throughout. It has metal gears. It has high strength, Hypoid gears in the differentials, so it gives you a high pinion, lower profile axle pumpkin for better performance. It's got, let's see, it's got universal joints in the axles for maximum steering angle. And on these AR45 axles, you are able to get a lot of steering angle on them. And you know, it's a really high performing, capable truck. It's very minimalist, which I am a fan of. So you can lock out the dig as you build the truck to where it does not need a servo, save your weight, lock it in 4-wheel drive full time, or you can install it with a servo and have it shift in and out of dig, being able to lock up your rear tires when you're out there crawling, which is a handy feature. But if you're doing more competition style things, it may not be allowed for the class that you're driving it in. So things to consider. Other things that I'm a big fan of are the all metal body shocks on this. One thing I'm directly comparing this to is one of Axial's older products, which is SCX10-II based. They're 1.9 Wraith. That car had plastic links. It had plastic shock bodies. It did not have universal joints. It had the old CVD style cup and ball axles. So you were limited on steering and lower performance. It felt very cheap, really. This thing, with its big beefy stainless links, its metal shock bodies, which are very nice and smooth, I trust them much more than I trusted the old shocks off that 1.9 Wraith. You can clearly see when you line them up, there is a lot of value here as far as what you used to have to upgrade. It comes standard in this kit. It also comes with a dig unit as well, so that's added bonus. It's a really awesome truck and very versatile. With the different body mount options you have here, you can go with 10-3 bodies. I elected to not install the front body mounts that you can find back here on this rear truss. They also have separate pieces that bolt onto the nose. I didn't find it necessary to bolt it on because I'm not planning on using a body that uses that, so I just left it off. Pretty simple, use a shorter screw, no big deal. As far as install of the kit goes, it was very simple. There was one thing I got wrong when installing all this, and I had to remove an E-clip inside the transmission. I put the wrong size bearing that sits in the forward part of the plastic transmission housing. If I would have just followed the directions properly, it wouldn't have been an issue. That was on my fault. I was getting excited and putting bearings in places, and I didn't check. So just be mindful of this top output shaft where your spur gear attaches to. Through that front side of the motor transmission outside of the transmission casing, there is a specific smaller bearing than the other one inside the transmission, so be sure you don't get those mixed up like myself. It was a 5-minute fix, no big deal, but it was something that I ran into and made a mistake on my end. One great detail Axial really nailed here is on the SCX10-III for the steering servo setup. You really need to have this style servo horn that drops down below the frame rail and then allows your drag link to bolt up at a lower position. This is a steel servo horn that they include in the kit, but they don't just send you one, they send you two. So most aftermarket servos are going to be 25 tooth splines, and then Spectrum themselves really like the 23 splines. So if you're buying a Spectrum servo, you'll most likely need that 23 tooth spline. If you're buying something like, I don't know, a Reefs, a Shift, the other brands of servos, even ones off of Amazon, they're typically 25 tooth, so keep that in mind. And if you are going aftermarket servo, you may need to trim the plastic right inside of this shock tower at the bottom. Don't trim the shock tower, trim the servo tray that sits alongside the chassis rail right here. You can do it with wire cutters if you completely uninstall the bracket, or if you're not scared to get in there with a Dremel, you can also clip it out of there that way as well. Outside of that, guys, I'm really looking forward to having this kit out there on the rocks. I already have a Basecamp that I have straight axle converted, and it's a great, fun truck. This one, I actually may go ahead and Frankenstein into a different build entirely. Maybe I'll take my almost original 1.9 Wraith and graft all of the drivetrain into it, including the skid, the transmission, the dig unit, the axles, the metal links. We're gonna see what we can do. That's gonna be a separate video though. I hope you guys enjoyed this look and review on the Axial SCX10-III Basecamp Builders Kit. My name is Logan with West Desert Wheeler. Thank you so much for watching. We will see you guys in the next one. Keep the rubber side down.